The Nelson Mandela Children's Fund launched a children's fun walk today as part of the fund's 27th annual children's celebration. Let's take you to the Johannesburg Zoo. That's where we find Newzroom Afrika's Ahmed. Kajee, you standing by to be in conversation with some of the young people there who are walking in a mile, Ahmed, in Madiba's shoes.
We seem to be having some technical difficulties, but it's okay.
Yes, very much so. To do the program and the formalities are just about to start here at the Johannesburg Zoo. We will have the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, the Nelson Mandela Hospital, as well as various other corporate sponsors and donors who are involved within the children's celebration here today. They'll be giving us addresses a bit later on. But just to give you some context on what we have seen so far today, the walk, the 5-kilometer walk in and around the zoo started just after 8:15 this morning. We walked around 5 kilometers around the zoo. Many of the children and the attendees over here having a chance to see what the offerings over here have to show, especially focusing on the animals, what we normally would see as well. As you normally would see, like we mentioned, the program over here is about to get started. We will have a few of the officials from the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund addressing us a bit later on. But I think now is actually a good time to bring in Dr. Nonkululeko Boikhutso. She is the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Hospital. Doctor, thanks very much for your time today. Perhaps you can reflect on the importance of having a day like this for children.
You know, our former president, Mr. Mandela, values children, and we measure society by how it treats its children. And a day like this really reminds us of who children are and the input that they can have in society. And for the hospital specifically, I think these children represent what we want to see in our children. So they're in hospital beds right now, but we want to get them out here, to get them walking and to get them well again. So it's an important day for children and to recognize children as a society.
For an event like this, what does the last 2 years mean? I mean, we haven't had any events like this over the last 2 years. What does today then mean for the children who are here today?
Sure, it's very, very exciting. I was looking at everybody. We're able to see people's faces now because we don't have masks. For the past 2 years, we have been closed in. We haven't been able to interact even with some of our sponsors, because we're a hospital that is built by sponsors and by society. And to see everyone here today is really encouraging because as healthcare workers, we really felt lonely for the past 2 years, having to go into work, facing the things that we're facing. So a day like this is really exciting. It's really important. And we're really excited to see our sponsors like Nedbank coming to support us today.
Finally, before I let you go, in terms of the biggest challenges that you have seen from the hospital front over the last 2 years?
Well, mainly it has been COVID, but I must say as an NGO, the hospital requires constant funding so that we can increase our services. We wanted to grow, we wanted to treat more children, so we'd really appreciate continued support of the hospital. And really that's our biggest challenge. The need is great out there, lots of children need help, and so we want to be able to do that.
Dr. Nonkululeko, thanks very much for your time today. To do that, Dr. Nonkululeko Boikhutso, she is the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, and they're a big part of what we are seeing today. Major role players and benefactors of what we are seeing today. Before I bring in one of the corporate sponsors in the form of Nedbank, just to take you through some of the important themes that are coming out of the Nelson Mandela Children's Walk today here at the Johannesburg Zoo. The theme around this year is walking for those who are unable to. And there's twofold and two aspects towards this particular theme. The first one being for those who have to walk long distances to get access to shopping centers, to just get their basic groceries, and then also to get through to education centers, whether it be primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary education sectors, and then obviously for children as well to go through to their creches and preschools. And then also looking towards healthcare facilities. This is exceptionally important for those who are walking exceptionally long distances to get through to those specific destinations. So these are just some of the major themes coming out of today. And then additionally, the physically disabled as well, those who are just simply unable to walk due to their physical disabilities as well. But as you see, the children here are having a lot of fun trying to enjoy whatever games that have been put on by the foundation as well. And I think now is actually a good time to also bring in the Executive Group Marketing and Corporate Affairs Officer at Nedbank, Khensani Nobanda. Khensani, thanks very much for your time today. Why did your organization, why did Nedbank get involved in this event here today?
So we've been partners with the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund for more than 17 years. We've got a trust that's called the Nelson Mandela Children's Trust, where every year, on behalf of our clients, we actually donate money to the trust. And it's important for us because it's really around our purpose of using our financial expertise to do good. We want to make a positive impact on society. And I think, one of the most positive role models for our country was always Nelson Mandela. And for us to be partners, with the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund was probably a no-brainer, to be honest. And then for today, in knowing that his birthday is coming up, it was important for us that we sponsor today's event because, as you know, Nelson Mandela for his birthday always was about children. So to have an event like this, to see children enjoying themselves, is very important for us as a bank.
What is the contribution in overall? I mean, you have been here, physical presence, I'm sure resources have went in. Can you maybe just take us through some of that?
Yeah, so what we do is, and I'll give you a sense of it, it's called the Nedbank Children's Trust. It's one of our affinities that we have as a bank. So if you're a Nedbank client and you either swipe your card, at no cost to you, if you choose the trust, we actually contribute towards the Nelson Mandela Children's Trust. And it really depends on the client. So the more that you swipe, the more that we contribute towards the trust. And over the last couple of years, we've probably contributed in excess of 10 million rand a year. And we're very proud of it because we do think it makes a significant impact. Obviously, from a resource perspective as well, a couple of, the chairman of the Nedbank board actually sits on the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund executive board as well, to ensure that we give our skills at no cost, obviously, to the trust and stuff, to really help and ensure that, the things that they're doing, things like this really can make an impact.
Khensani, thanks very much for your time today. I'm not going to keep you for too long. I know the program has started already. Thanks very much. That's our Nedbank, that's the Nedbank marketing officer, rather, Khensani, giving us an update as to exactly what is taking place over here. And just to maybe just take you through what we are seeing over here, the official program has started a few moments ago. And what we will be seeing a bit later on is Dr. Stanley Maposa. He is the interim CEO at the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. He'll be giving a bit of an address a bit later on to all the attendees, both and stakeholders across the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. As we mentioned, the Nelson Mandela Hospital, rather. And all of these stakeholders are important in the celebration of Mandela Day as well. Over the recent years, we have seen the 18th of July being a landmark day in the calendar of South Africa. Many people coming out, observing the Nelson Mandela Day, trying to get involved in as much NGO work as possible, trying to give back into the system and to ensure that those who are impoverished and marginalized have access and resources to perhaps events and to and speaking towards those events and activities that they normally would not necessarily be exposed to under normal circumstances. So a day like this coming through to the Johannesburg Zoo was an important part for all of the stakeholders to come through and be involved with the children on a day like this. And you will see the branding has come out throughout the morning. And to just take you through what we have seen from the early morning as well. The walk started out just around 8 o'clock, 8:15 or so, and we walked across the entire vicinity of the zoo. So many of the children were able to see all the animals as well, just to take it in. And, many of the children and the attendees over here haven't normally, wouldn't normally have experienced or be exposed to these this particular context. And after that walk, they had then come through. They were served with meals, served with refreshments, to just have some relaxation time, and to just spend time with friends and family. And then we are obviously having the main program taking place right now. That will be more or less going right through until about 2 p.m. This afternoon. And that's when we will be having addresses by various stakeholders, all from Nedbank, from the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund as well, to ensure that these children can have a really Mandela Day worth celebrating. And these activations, apart from today, across the country, we will be seeing them taking place today, tomorrow, and then heading into Monday, Nelson Mandela Day on the 18th of July, a massive day in the calendar for South Africa.
Ahmed, Kajee, thank you very much for that comprehensive update coming to us from the Johannesburg Zoo.